Okay, we're ready to go. Ray is here. Hi, Ray. Don't forget to silence your gadgets. Jim is doing the invocation. Dave is doing the pledge. If you wish to join, please rise.
Thank you, Mac. Let us pray. Lord, we are meeting today to conduct matters of county business. Guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Bless this meeting with your divine intelligence and help us do right by all concerned. Please share a little of your wisdom with us so our affairs may reach a successful conclusion. Thank you for your guidance and your heavenly blessing over our meeting today. Amen.
Amen. Please join. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Bell,
Here.
Curran,
Here.
Freeling, Harrison,
Here.
Hinkleman, Pitchford, Ott, Tyler, Borath, Werfel, Yarborough, Elliott.
Here.
You have it.
Thank you. Minutes from a week ago
Make that motion.
or 6 days ago.
6.
Moved by Freeling. Is there support? Supported by Harrison. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the minutes from the special meeting on the 16th of January, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Those minutes are approved. Madam Clerk, have we communications?
No communications this week.
Hey, how about that? Okay, and we'll go to comments about the resolutions, all of which are on the first page of the agenda, except we have one that we have added, which is P 26011131. And then is there another one? Oh yeah, that's right. F 26011132. And the 1131 is about engaging Gallagher Benefit Services to provide services in connection with our health plan to employees and retirees. The other one is for the road department, which we discussed at the first meeting. And the county treasurer is making an interest-free advance of up to $2 million from the delinquent tax revolving fund with the stipulation that it be repaid sometime in this calendar year. That's the second one. So if you have any comments or questions about the ones that are already on the agenda or these two that we plan to add to the agenda and vote on today, this would be your time. Sir.
I don't know if now is appropriate or when I give out my committee report. I asked Mark in our committee, why isn't the road department's fund balance covering the 2 million? Could we get an explanation from either you or Mark when it's appropriate so the whole board can hear the explanation?
It'll probably be appropriate momentarily because what we're going to do is a two-step process. We're going to move to amend our agenda to add 1131 and 1132 so we can vote on them today. And then
And Mr. Chair, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I just thought that an explanation as to why it's coming out of the delinquent tax and not out of the road department's fund balance is appropriate, but I don't know when that is
Well,
appropriate to address.
I'm
It
looking
doesn't need to
for
be right now.
clarification from corporate counsel, since we're adding these on the board floor, in addition to the 2/3 majority requirement of majority of those present to amend the agenda, do we have to read these into the record since they weren't on the consent calendar? I don't remember.
That is our practice,
Okay.
because they weren't listed on the agenda that was circulated.
Okay, well, the committee chairs can read them or designate someone to read them. And that'll be PHS and finance. So First thing then, we need a motion to amend the agenda to add P 2601131 and F 2601132. Moved by Volrath. Is there support? Supported by Freeling. Any discussion? Sir?
Is now the appropriate time?
No.
Whenever it fits in,
Yeah,
Mr.
this-
Chair.
right
I
now, we're
appreciate
just,
it.
we're laying the foundation to get to it, but right now, we're just amending the agenda to bring these two in. So, any other questions? Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Bell, Curran,
Yes.
Freeling. Yes. Harrison,
Yes.
Hinkleman, Borath, Werfel,
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes. Okay, we've added those two resolutions to the agenda. The next step is we'll do the consent calendar, and those aren't part of the consent calendar. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar as submitted?
So
Moved by Hinkleman,
second.
supported by Volrath. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, as mentioned in the committee of the whole, I just want to make the board aware of resolution B 2601-062, which is our weekly requisition. I will be abstaining from rec number 82997, 82999, and 83000 for Rev Excavating, which those numbers have been given to the clerk for the record, out of an abundance of caution.
Very good.
Thank you.
With that caveat, if there are no comments about the consent calendar, Madam Clerk, we'll need a roll call.
Bell,
Yes.
Curran,
Yes.
Freeling.
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Hinkleman,
Yes.
Borath, Werfel,
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes. Now, in light of the amendment of the agenda to add P 2601131 and F 2601132, we'll do those individually. The lower number first. Is there a motion to approve P 2601131?
I'll make that motion.
Moved by Werfel, supported by Harrison. Any discussion about that resolution? Who wants to read that resolution into the record? Bob does? Okay, thank you, Bob.
To the Honorable Board of Commissioners of Berrien County, your County Finance Committee respectfully recommends the adoption of the following resolution. Whereas the Human Resources Department provides and processes benefits for county employees and retirees alike. And whereas given the increasing complexity of benefits administration, ongoing cost pressures, and the need for enhanced internal support, the county administrator research consultants in this field. And whereas the county would benefit from having a benefits partner / consultant that can provide expert guidance, support employee education and communication, and serve as a reliable extension of the human resources function. And whereas proposals were sought from 2 different companies, which laid out the costs involved as well as the services that would be provided by such a consultant. And whereas the proposal provided by Gallagher Benefit Services reflects their position to provide immediate and long-term value to the county and to strengthen the department's handling of benefit management. And whereas the fee for this services is $4,000 per month with additional carrier commissions. And whereas the county administrator recommends a 1-year term effective February 1st, 2026 with automatic renewals unless terminated by either party with 90 days notice. Now therefore be it resolved that the Berrien County Board of Commissioners authorizes the chairman to execute the agreement with Gallagher Benefit Services for consulting services related to benefits administration pending an accepted agreement that has been reviewed and approved by corporate counsel.
And it's already been moved by Werfel. The resolution having already been moved by Werfel and supported by Harrison. And the request for comment having been made and no comments been provided, unless someone has changed their mind and now wants to make a comment. Sir.
I think Annette caught it already. It says Finance Committee when it's actually
It's
PHS.
ours, yeah.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Bell, Kern,
Yes.
Freeling,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Hinkleman,
Yes.
Volrath, Werfel.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes. Okay, the next one, F 2601132, coming out of finance. And that's the one for the road department. Who's gonna read that one?
Motion to approve first, or do you want to read first?
We can do it either way.
I'll read it. I'll read it, Mr. Chair, all right? F 2601132, January 22, 2026, to the Honorable Board of Commissioners, Berrien County, Michigan, your county finance committee respectfully recommends the adoption of the following resolution. Whereas the Berrien County Road Department is facing a cash flow issue due to the reduced financing payments from the Michigan Transportation Fund, and whereas the current accounts payable amount for the department is $2,077,439.76, with accounts receivable at $154,956.75. And whereas the department is in need of an advance from the county to maintain its relationship with vendors and to continue to ensure a safe road system for the public, and whereas the county is in a position to provide an interest-free advance of up to $2 million from the delinquent tax revolving fund, with a stipulation that it be repaid in the 2026 calendar year. And whereas, if approved, the department would begin repaying the advance in April of 2026 with the initial payment of up to $200,000. And whereas the county treasurer has provided support for this advance out of the delinquent tax fund, now therefore be it hereby resolved that the Berrien County Board of Commissioners authorizes an advance of up to $2 million to the road department from the delinquent tax revolving fund to supplement the cash flow issues due to the delay in state funding. Be it further resolved that the county administrative controller is directed to advance up to $2 million as required from the delinquent tax revolving fund to the road department to accomplish this. Be it further resolved that if any of the stipulations described above cannot be met, the finance committee will be apprised of the situation to authorize any further action needed. Respectfully submitted, Berrien County Financial Committee.
And you're moving its adoption?
And I am moving its adoption.
Support. And so moved by Hinkleman, supported by Bell. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, I believe Commissioner Curran may have a question.
How did you know? Jim?
There we go. I just thought it would be helpful if the whole board heard the explanation that we received in admin on why we're not using the road department's fund balance. So Brian, Mark, I'll turn it over to you two.
Mark, will you use the mic, please?
Absolutely. So the fund balance itself is not entirely compromised of cash. Currently, the road department has about $500,000 in cash. And the rest of those, the remaining $9 million is tied up, is valuations of assets, property, and buildings.
Thank you for that explanation.
Do you have anything to add?
Sir, you've got a question.
Ma'am?
Yeah, having previously served on admin, we were always told that that is a fund that was needed for paying bills and being able to do that while things are going up and down, fluctuating. $5,000 would not do that in any case. So it sounds like the documents we're receiving are turning into balance sheets. If it's got fixed assets on there, I would like an explanation of that.
So Jake, are you willing to chime in on that question, or?
I don't have an educated answer on it. My understanding of now, I'm sorry. As far as I know, that's how the fund balance has always been reported. If you'd want, I can dig into it more and get back to you on it though.
Yeah, I would like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That'd be great. Thank you. Did you have anything to add?
No, sir.
Okay, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Bell,
Yes.
Curran,
Yes.
Freeling,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Hinkleman,
Yes.
Volrath, Werfel,
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes. Okay, that concludes our resolutions. A little bit of a scenic route today, but we're done with those. So we'll go to committee reports, and finance is first on the list.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We had a very busy day today. Most of the things that we did I guess you've already seen either show up in the consent calendar or was added to it. So the resolutions have been signed and then moved forward quickly today. So you've seen just about everything that we've done. The only two that we didn't approve that you will see in the future, we approved, but we signed the resolution for the project for Harbor Shores, is it? So that, and we have to have a public forum on that, and so that will take place in February, I guess. So that'll be moved forward. Everything else was actually moved up and addressed today. We did have, Don Trail came in, and we did have a question. There was some fencing that needed done at the 911, at our 911, current 911 facility. And they had $75,000 budgeted for that. They had received two bids. One was for almost 150, one was for $95,000. We sent those back to them without approving them because we wanted further explanation. Don came back to us today and we were surprised that it was so much when the estimate was 75,000. Gave us a very good explanation. He said that the 95,000, it turns out, from the one bidder did not even encompass all of the things that needed attention. And so that bid was dismissed as incomplete. So the only complete bid was the 147, and it turned out that when everything was involved in it, he said that it's going to require that much funds. The good news is that we approved it. We approved the bid because he said that within the budgeting for they had some projects that they had that actually some lighting project that they thought needed attention that didn't need attention, and so they could basically, in this case, utilize some of those funds to take care of it. And so we'll be all right with that project. And that project also, it includes the gate that addresses ingress and egress into the 911 facility and all. And that gate, just for common knowledge, has been damaged. It's been hit 3 times now. And this last time can't be fixed. So it needs replaced. So that's that. We signed one waiver. The one waiver that we signed, that was already taken care of too. That was for Gallagher. That was for the benefits. And we did not approve the minutes because we'll do that. We were down some people in committee today. And so we'll do that the next meeting, next time we get together. And so I think that covered it, didn't it? Covered everything? That's all, Mr. Chair.
Questions for finance? Okay, next on the list is Personnel and Human Services.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We also met this morning, had a number of resolutions, some of which have already been acted on the consent agenda or the revised agenda. So we had one regarding our relationship with Michigan State University, which just to point out that they are number 2 in the NCAA Division I hockey ranking. This hurts me to say this. University of Michigan's number 1, and Western Michigan University is number 3. So
Keep it in the state.
So there you go. So there you go. At least the state is moving forward on something. That's always good. We also reviewed and acted on a resolution regarding our relationship with SWIMBA. This relates to substance abuse services. We had Carrie Smetanka Haney in talking about the status change for a court referee. We acted on the Gallagher resolution. And then also we had a couple from the health department, one dealing with marijuana, one with the use of their carryover service money. And then the fourth would be the digital signs where they're upgrading those in the building over on Napier. And so we also had the luxury of having Jill Adams come in and give her update on the Parks Department and talk through a number of issues there. And then also Maureen came in and talked in great detail regarding veteran services. And we talked at length about some of the issues dealing with the state of Michigan and the Veterans Administration for the federal government. So that would conclude my report.
Questions for PHS? All right, and we'll go to admin. Jim.
Thank you, Mac. First in to see us this morning was Carrie Smith-Tangahini. She talked to us about the attorney referee part-time position options that also went to PHS. It was a resolution that we've already approved this morning, so we thank you for that. After Carrie was Don Trail from Building and Grounds, and he went through the list on the deferred maintenance list. He's still plugging away at it. The one thing that he did bring to our attention is the upgrades to this building, the administration building. We haven't seen those, so we asked him to send those to us electronically. Looked like a pretty thick document, so that we could look at it before it's presented to the board, so at least we could see what it looks like. So he's gonna do that, and then after Don was Mark Heiliger from the road department. Two things he wanted to highlight is for funding in 2028. They have received critical bridge funding for the Coloma Road Bridge. This is over the Paw Paw River. This is for the deck rehabilitation to the tune of $2.1 million. They got the money to do that in 2028. And the second one is Log Cabin Road Bridge over the Galeen River branch. This is for a full reconstruction of that bridge at the tune of $1.4 million. So he's quite happy that they got the funding to take care of those two bridges. The last topic, he brought Don Galuz, our weighmaster, in to see us this morning and talked about the process when county roads are damaged through negligence. He kind of asked us if we could do a policy on how that's taken care of. So we asked him to draft a policy, bring it to us. We'll review it and tweak it, and then bring it to the full board for approval. And that is our report.
Questions for admin? Okay, we'll go into commissioner reports and go clockwise.
Yesterday I attended CCAB along with our sheriff and our prosecutor. We had a really interesting discussion just about achieving the goal of CCAB, which is for the most part curbing recidivism, but also trying to meet the needs of those who find themselves coming out of jail or on probation, getting the right type of services for those people so that they don't recommit crime and end up in the justice system again. And Riverwood was a big topic of that discussion, and the services they provide, trying to get those services to those people that need it. That ultimately led to a discussion that we had at our Riverwood meeting last night that I attended, and Riverwood communicated to me, in which they want me to communicate to CCAB and just the county board in general, a willingness to play the part in closing the gap to getting those services to those people. And so we will be discussing in future meetings a possibility of setting up a subcommittee to kind of help bridge that gap, and maybe a liaison between the courts and Riverwood. I'm just trying to make sure that those people get the services that they need when it comes to mental health. Other than that, we had our quarterly compliance report at Riverwood. We talked about the possibility of getting a new facility, doing some shopping around in the city to figure out where Riverwood will call its home next in the next few years. So that concludes my report.
I have no report.
No meetings this week, but just want to say that we hooked up this week to from Comcast to Surf Internet, the new fiber lines that went out to Coloma, and we got ours hooked up yesterday. And there was this big line laying out in the yard yesterday from the road out to the house where they hooked it up. And I was thinking about that, if anything could happen to that line, to plow it or something, but it was buried this morning with about 6 inches of new snow, so I guess they come out in the spring and redo that. But,
Yeah.
hooking up to that, and also changing the TV service will be Saturday, but appreciate it all.
Yeah.
I mean, well, Michigan plays Friday night, but we won't win until Saturday, so that's my report.
I attended the Martin Luther King celebration out at Lake Michigan College. Also had a meeting regarding senior services, senior centers funding, and then also attended a meeting of the Lincoln Township Board. And then with respects to the evaluation of our corporate council, rather than give them to Annette, please put them in Vice Chair Werfel's mailbox. And so she has agreed to compile them in great detail, which I just celebrate with no end. And then, any questions on it? And if you could get those back in a week, I would, we all would very much appreciate it, because I know corporate council is anxious to get the feedback from the board, as well as also the elected officials and our outgoing administrator too.
And the vice chair of PHS knows to guard those evaluations the same way Caesar's will was guarded in Rome, right? So,
Yeah, very much, very similar.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
I had a Connexus executive board meeting this week. Parks Commission was yesterday. Couple things that we didn't mention in the PHS update. Love Creek turns 50 this year, so there'll be some celebrations on Love Creek. The Silver Beach County Park Playground has received an award already. They are getting a Parks Facility Award. That'll be coming up. Jill, I'm sure will bring it down here and show it to everybody once they receive it. And then some site feedback on the playground. They had 141,000 visitors at the playground last summer in 2025, which was a 33% increase from 24. So 67% of the visitors were from out of state. This was all cell phone mined data. And the average length of the stay was 73 minutes. In most playgrounds, it's 45 to 50 minutes. So the playground is being well received. Also around that with Silver Beach, we also decided as a Parks Commission that by the end of 26, we want to have in place for 27 new ways of handling the parking at Silver Beach and all of our parks. That isn't a card that can be passed around. So that's on the agenda. And then we have land bank today at 1.
Report. First, I want to thank our road department staff, the work that they've been doing for the last 8 days, just constantly clearing and dealing with this cold. It's long days and nights, and it's much appreciated. So I just wanted to give them a kudos. With the cold temperatures coming over the next couple of days, just a reminder, if any warming centers are needed, I think that information is available through 211. But normally Salvation Army, Emergency Shelter Services, Neighbor by Neighbor down in Union Pier, Red Cross, these are all places that if somebody needs to get warm, they can go and do so. As a reminder, next week we have our strategic plan. Brian, with the help of MSU Extension, has put together a survey for elected. I believe everyone in this board received that as well. And then department heads also received that. And that's just real high level SWOT, which is the strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threat sort of survey. What are we doing well? What opportunities we can gain from? If you could have that feedback done before we meet next Thursday, that would be fantastic. And then lastly, Brian, this is your last meeting technically with us, right? And while I'm sad to see you moving on, I just want to take the opportunity to thank you for nearly 6 years of work and effort, particularly through some very trying times. I mean, no one ever expected that we would have a pandemic to navigate through in your first year of being here. So thank you.
Thank you very much. As a follow-up on the strategic planning, just a reminder, if you have any food requests, get those to Annette. You can send them to me as well. But either way, if you have requests for the day of, we do have one that I've already received. Otherwise, we'll come up with a plan and it'll be what it is. So if you have any special requests for food, just let us know. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, just out of curiosity, Bob, on the performance evaluation, on the last one, E, there's no boxes to check. We're just, everything's the same. We're just supposed to write in the number there on that. On that one. Well, it's got, one of the last things, that we're supposed to, there were no boxes to check that were put in there, and I would rate that the same way, 0.5.
I think we're automatically counting them
It's
down
fine.
at the maximum score.
Yeah.
I think that one, it's a negative number.
All right, so that we just.
Yeah, just put a number on.
Just put a number. in.
And then comments.
All right.
Brian, did you have anything?
Yeah, to the board this week. So admin always is talking about Don Trail and his department's efforts to keep up with maintenance. This was one of those trying weeks where, in addition to dealing with cold and snow, we had a lengthy water main break that impacted Empire. So Benton Charter Township was able to get a contractor out to the site. They got it repaired within about 2 days, but that's one of those situations where, when you think about Empire, you definitely think about essential services mixed also with non-essential. So what was done was 911, Emergency Operations Center, Motor Pool all opted through their managers to stay in the current location and continuing to work. We did have heat and power to the building. We just did not have running water. Don Trail was able to move in porta-johns into the facility to make it work on a temporary basis. Unfortunately, those are 24/7 operations and they can't stop. They do have some bug out plans, but they did not have to implement them. Printing and records shut down for 2 days while we waited for the water main to be restored. Just wanted to give Don a shout out. It's not a fun situation he was dealing with, but I think he did a really good job of making sure that there was a plan in place and it was implemented quickly. Those are my comments, sir.
Thank you. We'll go to general public comments. I note that the prosecutor is here and the sheriff is here. Do either of you have anything you wanted to share, or are you just hanging out?
Just missed your faces.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, the prosecutor and sheriff may have a friendly competition upcoming. This would be a good time to see which side you want to side with.
Yeah, so the Chuck Height in Buffalo Township. The Polar Plunge is coming up February 7th.
Oh, yeah.
And the prosecutor's office has a team. The sheriff's office is in first place right now, just to let you know. But it's obviously a great event. It's a watermark on February 7th. All proceeds go to Special Olympics Michigan. So if you don't want to plunge, there's still time if you wanted to, but if you don't, you can still donate and come. It's a great event. But my main reason for coming up here was to thank Brian for his years and friendship and guidance throughout, and trying to keep Thaddeus in line. So.
Thank you, sir.
Amy, did you have anything?
Let me know if you want me to send you my donation link, and I'm happy to do that directly.
Okay, very good. Daniel is the new person at MSU Extension, is that right?
Yes, I'm Dan Dick. I grew up in Lawrence, so just in Van Buren County. I went to Michigan State. I just finished my master's degree. And then in November, I was hired as the tree fruit extension specialist. I'm based out of the swim rec station off of Napier. And so I'm coming today to just thank you guys for being very supportive of extension in this county and around the state. And I'm inviting the Board of Commissioners here today to come to the Southwest Horticulture Days, which is a yearly event that's held at Lake Michigan College, and it brings around 500 attendees every year. It's a great way to kind of get your face out there, and a great way for extension to show what we're doing around the state. So I do have my cards here, and then I have some things to pass out around the table if you guys would like.
Thank you, Dan. Go green.
Go white. Yeah, I'll also mention that there's 2 days of events. The first day of the events is where we have a lot of like general talks. And then the second day is the more specialized talk. So I'm inviting you guys to go to both days, but I think you'll get more out of the second day because that's where we have crop specific talks. So if you wanted to learn more about what's going on in peaches, apples, blueberries, grapes, or things like that, that's the day where we're doing the educational events. So.
Great. Thanks for coming.
I think that day is Thursday.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have a hard time. That's always been one of my problems here, that's a great event. It's a great event, but this.
Jim looked at me crossways. I didn't say go Irish because I knew no one would support that. So I figured I'd say go green and, oh, well, there we go. All right. Forgot. Thank you. Ma'am.
Stacy Little Porter, Lincoln Charter Township. If you were looking to get out of the cold this weekend into more cold, at the Garden Ice Arena, starting this Friday about 6 o'clock until Sunday at 4 p.m., we have our 7th annual Slap the Puck Out of Cancer event. There are events going on all day. All proceeds go to Berrien County Cancer Service. We've raised almost $35,000 over the last 75 years for their service. There are silent auctions. We have t-shirts for sale. You can buy I Fight For signs. We display them around the rink. So if you're looking for something fun to do, pop in. We have some great silent auction items. We have somebody donated a Cessna flight over the area. We have a fly fishing trip. We have some fun electronics. So again, if you want to get out of the cold into more cold, come see us.
Sounds inviting. Other business, anyone have any? The announcements and reminders, the regular meeting next week is off because it's the 5th Thursday, but we're doing strategic planning, as you know, over at the health department.
Yes, sir.
And I will hope to join you in progress. I have a 9 a.m. sentencing over in Elkhart County, which I was telling Julie during our break, they do their sentencings and their preliminaries and other than trials, they do them all in a courtroom inside the jail. I mean, they've got that mega jail over there. The thing is monstrous, but yeah, you go into the jail for all the hearings otherwise. So I guess that's one way to maintain airtight security. You don't have, yeah. So we could do an annex, maybe build it in with a pier down on the water. That'd be a nice venue, I think. Anyway, so does anybody have